Hello there, old man Steve, and I thought I'd tell you it's be story time. And some of you may not be interested in this, but maybe you will. I don't know. Anyway, I went to see West Side Story Sunday, the new West Side Story. And of course, I've worked in theater. I love musical theater, and I love the West Side Story is one of my all-time favorite show musicals, live, Broadway musical. And the first movie that was done back in the early '60s was fantastic. And of course now they've come out with a new one with Steven Spielberg. And I must say that it is quite good. It's gotten good reviews, and I really enjoyed it. And it has some really exciting things in it, and it's the same, but it's different. It's the only way that I know how to say it. Of course, the music's going to be the same, written by Stephen Sondheim, and that they can't change. The dancing is pretty much the same, except they have done some new stuff, which works very well. Anyway, I'm not much of a critic. I mean, I can't get down and tell you what's different and why I liked it and all that. I either like something or I don't, and I really like this one. And it's always been a favorite of mine. And Rita Moreno's in it, and Rita. The reason why I'm doing the video is because of the time that I met Rita Moreno, and what happened when I met her. I was a young man in New York in the '60s. I think if you follow me, you know that I lived in New York in the '60s, and I worked in several box offices on shows and in summer stock. And I've made notes here because I don't remember all the dates, but I got a job. A friend of mine had a job being the box office manager at a theater in Dayton, Ohio, for the summer, and he couldn't do it. So he recommended me, and I said, well, I've never been a manager. I've worked in a box office, but I've never, managed it. I don't know that I can do it. He said, oh, sure you can. You just fake it. Well, I don't know how you can fake something like that. But anyway, I went and met the producer, and I got the job, and I went to Dayton, Ohio. And and of course they did Broadway shows with big name stars. That's what they did back then. The year was 1962, and it was in Dayton, Ohio. And our second show was Damn Yankees with Rita Moreno. Well, West Side Story came out in 1961, and she won the Oscar in 1962, just prior to coming to our theater to do Damn Yankees. Well, that was a big coup for the producer. I mean, the publicity was fantastic. But I understand, and I heard rumors, and I never knew the real story. But because she won the Oscar, of course, she became this big name. And I think she tried to get out of her agent tried to get her out of the contract to do the show because she probably could have gotten more money because she had just won the Oscar. And probably when they signed the contracts was prior to all of that. So there was, I would think that they probably tried to get out of the contract. But they didn't, and she came to Dayton to do the show. When she got there, I think I don't know, it was a week before or a few days before to do some run-throughs of rehearsals and blocking and stuff that they do prior to a show. And now the theater was, Dayton, Ohio was in what they called marbled things that was done years and years and years ago, and the box office was in the center of the lobby up to the back wall, and it was more like a reservation counter that you would see at a enclosed. It was just all open, so it closed up. We had to box up everything and take it out of there because there was no way to secure. So one day they were rehearsing, and I was in the box office, and we had I don't know, about 3 or 4 people in there selling tickets, and there was the door behind me knocked, and a secure place. We had didn't go into the box office unless you worked. Door and opened the door, and it was Rita Moreno, and she stuck her head in. She said, "Can I use the phone?" Well, I was so taken aback. My reaction was I just picked up the phone, handed it to her, and she took the phone. It had a long cord, and pulled it out into the hallway, and then used it out there and closed the door. And I thought, I don't know if I should have done that or not. I mean, you just don't use the phone in the box office. It's so she was on the something, I don't know, for a length, and then she opened the door and thank you. And I told her, I said, if next time you need to make a call, if you go into the office, it's more private, and you won't be disturbed. And I remember she kind of looked at me and kind of smiled, like knowingly that she had probably done something that she shouldn't have. I don't know. But we had a moment. And so every time I think about Rita Moreno, of course, she probably would never, ever remember that. I mean, sure. I mean, that was back in 1962. And it made more of a memory for me than it would have been for her, I'm sure. And she was fantastic in the show. It got rave reviews in it. And I remember that we probably sold out every night because she had just won the Oscar. And, that was big news. Publicity for our theater. So anyway, that's my Rita Moreno story. She just celebrated her 90th birthday, and I'm 83, so she's a little bit older than me. And then 62, I probably was, and she probably was like I don't know, 30, 31. Beautiful. And she was very nice. She wasn't, I don't remember her being, like this big star, especially because she won the Academy Award. But she was gorgeous. So anyway, I've always had fond memories of Rita Moreno because of that. So that's my story for today. And if you get a chance, go see West Side Story. It really is good. Okay, bye.